What happens when the children of polygamy refuse the very life their parents fought for? And what does it mean when a daughter is denied something as simple as her own room? In the world of sister wives, two separate stories, Aurora and Breanna's rejection of plural marriage and Truly's forgotten place in Kody's home, collide into one undeniable truth. The children are breaking free, and the legacy may never survive. Stay with us, because by the end, you'll see why fans believe these daughters may have written the final chapter of the Brown family saga. And it all begins with one haunting line. I don't feel the same calling.
You jumped to the end.
Part 1.
What?
Now we reveal what Aurora admits to her. Now we reveal what Aurora admits to her mother will shock every Sister Wives fan and may reveal why the Brown family will never be the same again. I don't feel the same calling. That single sentence from Aurora Brown changed the entire conversation about polygamy in the Brown family. For years, Robyn Brown presented herself as the last and most devoted wife of Kody. Her children, Aurora and Breanna, grew up in a household where plural marriage wasn't just normal, it was sacred. But time has passed. The family has fractured. And now, the kids are speaking for themselves. The Brown children represent the next generation, and their voices carry the weight of all the public drama, heartbreak, and betrayal their parents have endured. Aurora admitted she doesn't feel called to live polygamy, an earth-shaking admission in a family that built its identity on the principle. This isn't just teenage rebellion, it's a generational shift, a cultural clash between their parents' dreams and their own search for independence. But if Aurora refuses plural marriage, what does that mean for Robyn's role as Kody's only legal wife and the last defender of polygamy? Aurora's confession wasn't made lightly. It was spoken in front of her mother, Robyn, the very woman who sacrificed everything to join the Brown family and protect its vision. And Breanna? She stood by quietly, her silence louder than any words. The emotional conflict here is crushing. On one side, loyalty to their mother, who believes in plural marriage. On the other, a desire to escape the weight of a broken tradition. And yet, the backlash from fans was immediate. Some say Aurora is brave. Others call it betrayal. But the biggest twist? It might not be what you think. Here's the twist. While Aurora rejects polygamy, she still says she loves and honors her family. This isn't rebellion, it's evolution. For years, Sister Wives fans accused Robyn of destroying the family. But in a shocking reversal, it may be her own daughters who dismantled the very foundation of plural marriage. Some fans argue this proves the kids were never truly committed. Others believe it's proof that Kody and Robyn's dream is collapsing under its own weight. But what happens when the children, the future, say no to the past? The climax isn't just about Aurora's words. It's about the entire Brown family's future. Christine left. Janelle left. Mary was cast aside. And now, the next generation doesn't want to carry the torch. Is this the true end of Sister Wives? Or will Robyn fight to preserve the dream, even if her own children won't? And ask yourself, if the children are rejecting polygamy, what does that mean for the legacy TLC has been selling for over a decade? Aurora and Breanna's voices are more than personal choices. They are symbols of a generational shift, a reminder that children do not always inherit the burdens of their parents. The Brown family once stood as the face of modern polygamy. Now, their children may be the ones to close that chapter forever. Do you think Aurora and Breanna are right to reject plural marriage? Or are they turning their backs on everything their parents built? Tell us in the comments, because this conversation is far from over. Part 2. A child asked for nothing more than a room of her own, but was denied. Truly, Brown, Christine, and Kody's youngest daughter became the symbol of everything broken inside the Brown household. But why would a father refuse his little girl such a simple request? And what does this reveal about the truth behind sister wives? Stay with us, because Christine's heartbreaking revelation in her book may hold the final proof of how Kody and Robyn really treated Truly, and why fans will never forgive them. Christine recalls asking Kody to make sure their daughter Truly had her own room at his house, but that request was never honored. In a home large enough for multiple children, Truly was shuffled around, placed wherever there was space, as if she were an afterthought. Fans noticed the pattern, and the outrage began. The Brown family built their image on love, unity, and fairness. But behind closed doors, Christine says it was a different story. Truly didn't get a room of her own. She didn't get the birthday celebrations she deserved. And in her mother's words, she wasn't made to feel welcome. This isn't about furniture or square footage. It's about a child's place in her father's heart. But was Truly really invisible to Kody, or was something else going on? Christine says she pleaded with Kody. Fans argue, what kind of father refuses his daughter a bedroom when the house has space? The emotional conflict here is devastating. Truly, the youngest, was caught between a mother's love and a father's neglect. Some viewers point out a darker truth, that Robyn and her children always had space, always had comfort, always had priority. Truly, by contrast, was treated like an inconvenience. And this isn't just fan speculation. Christine's own book confirms it. Here's the twist. While fans thought Truly's treatment was just part of a larger family imbalance, Christine's book revealed that Kody never planned to give Truly a permanent space in his home. It wasn't oversight. It was a decision. That revelation flipped the Sister Wives fandom upside down. Fans flooded social media. She deserved better. This is the proof Kody favored Robyn's kids. For many, this was the moment Kody lost all credibility as a father. And the fallout was louder than anyone expected. Christine's departure from the marriage was about respect, love, and fairness, and Truly's lack of a bedroom became the symbol of it all. The forgotten daughter, the child who asked for so little and received even less. The climax is clear. Truly's story isn't just about one bedroom. It's about who matters, who doesn't, and how a father's choices shattered his family's legacy. And ask yourself, if he couldn't give his daughter a room, what else did he take away from her childhood? Christine fought for her children. She demanded respect. She demanded fairness. But when even the smallest request, her daughter's room, was denied, she knew it was over. Truly may not have had her own room in Kody's house, but she now has something far greater, a mother who put her first, and a future free from a broken system. Do you think Kody intentionally sidelined Truly? Or was this just neglect disguised as chaos? Drop your thoughts in the comments. We want to hear from you. Let's deep dive in full details. Part 3. She never had a room, and she never wanted plural marriage. 2 daughters, 2 mothers, and 2 heartbreaking stories, woven together in the shadow of Kody Brown's polygamous dream. Christine's book revealed that Truly never had her own room at Kody's house. Meanwhile, Aurora told her mother Robyn that she doesn't feel called to plural marriage. Both confessions struck fans like lightning because they weren't about bedrooms or theology. They were about love, belonging, and the painful truth of growing up in a fractured family. The Brown family once sold the image of harmony, but beneath the surface, cracks grew wider with every season. Truly's lack of a bedroom wasn't just oversight, it symbolized Kody's neglect. Fans noted that Robyn's children always had rooms, always had space, always had priority. And Aurora? Her rejection of polygamy was more than teenage rebellion. It was the next generation saying no to the weight of their parents' choices. A daughter looking at her mother and whispering, "This ends with me." But the deeper fans dug, the clearer it became. These weren't isolated events. They were proof of a much bigger truth about the family's collapse. Picture it, Christine walking through a house, realizing her youngest daughter has nowhere to truly belong. Each birthday, each visit, each night without a room of her own, etched into Truly's memory like a scar. Now picture Aurora sitting with her mother Robyn, saying softly but firmly that she doesn't feel called to plural marriage. The weight of history on her shoulders, the eyes of her mother searching for reassurance, and instead hearing rejection. In both moments, the children took center stage, and in both, the silence of their fathers spoke louder than words. When Christine's book hit shelves, fans erupted. Why couldn't Kody give her a room? It was such a small thing. Meanwhile, Aurora's confession fueled debates. Robyn fought so hard for polygamy, and now even her own kids reject it. The twist? These weren't just isolated disappointments. They exposed the truth that polygamy's legacy wasn't just failing the wives, it was being rejected by the children. And that's when fans realized the Brown family dream may already be dead. Christine leaving Kody was dramatic, but the children speaking up? That's the ultimate climax. Truly's lost bedroom became a symbol of neglect. Aurora's words became a symbol of freedom. Together, they revealed the Brown family's final contradiction. They preached family, but failed their own kids. The emotional conflict isn't just between Kody and his wives anymore. It's between the parents and their children, between the past and the future. And the question now, if the children are rejecting the foundation, what happens to the legacy of sister wives? In the end, Aurora, Breanna, and Truly's stories prove one undeniable truth. Children remember who made them feel seen and who made them feel invisible. The Brown legacy won't be written by Kody, Robyn, or even Christine. It will be written by the daughters who refuse to accept less. A bedroom denied, a calling rejected, and a legacy rewritten. Aurora and Breanna weren't just born into sister wives. They were raised in the shadow of a complicated marriage. When Robyn joined Kody, her children had to adjust overnight to a new father figure, new siblings, and a spotlight they never asked for. Some fans remember Aurora's panic attacks on screen, real, raw moments that revealed just how heavy the burden of plural marriage was on a child. In those early years, Robyn fought to protect her kids, but ironically, it was Aurora herself who would later look her mother in the eye and say, "I don't feel the same calling." For Christine, Truly was always the baby who needed extra care. Fans remember when Truly was hospitalized as a toddler, and Christine stayed by her side night after night. That same little girl, years later, was denied something as simple as her own room at her father's house. The contrast is heartbreaking. A child once fought for her life, now quietly pushed aside in her father's home. The fan community didn't stay silent. On Reddit, one user wrote, "Truly deserved her own space. She wasn't a guest, she was his daughter." Another on Facebook said, "Aurora's courage shows what every brown child is really thinking. They don't want polygamy." And on YouTube, reactions exploded with comments like, "This family isn't united, it's divided by favoritism." When the fans speak louder than the father, you know the legacy is in trouble. Family therapists often note that children who feel excluded in blended households carry those scars for life. Truly's missing bedroom wasn't just about walls and furniture, it was about identity and belonging. And Aurora's rejection of polygamy? Experts say it reflects a generational shift, where children no longer feel bound by their parents' spiritual or cultural traditions. The biggest question now isn't about Kody or Robyn, it's about the kids. What happens when Truly grows older and begins sharing her own story? What happens if Aurora and Breanna openly reject polygamy in future interviews? Some fans even speculate that TLC might pivot the show toward the next generation because the drama is no longer about the wives. It's about the children saying no. And if that happens, the Brown family dream won't just collapse. It will be rewritten by the very daughters who were once overlooked. Do you think Truly's missing room and Aurora's rejection of polygamy are proof that the Brown family dream is finally over? Or can Robyn still protect it through her children? Tell us in the comments. We read every one. If you believe the kids deserved better, hit like, subscribe, and turn on the bell so you don't miss our next deep dive, where we uncover more secrets from the world of sister wives.